What's up, y'all? Today we talking about when a narcissist gaslights a Christian. Ooh, I know y'all want to hear about this one, but before we start, y'all, please hit the like button right now before we get started, and please hit the subscribe button right now so that y'all can get all the videos that I put out and y'all don't miss none of them, and y'all can rewatch them and share them and do all of those things. All right? And before we get started, again, I just want y'all to know a little bit about me. I am in a PhD program for psychology and theology, so I study psychology and I study theology. I have a great relationship with God, and I have people who are narcissistic in my life and have been in my life for years. And I am not telling y'all stuff that I just learned from reading. I'm telling y'all stuff that I've been through, literally been through, have gone through all the pain and agony that you have been in the doctor's hospital having anxiety attacks, depression, body malfunctioning, all of that, y'all. So this is really real, and I've literally put God first in these situations, and I just want to share this with you, okay? So let's get started. When a narcissist gaslights a Christian, you are a Christian, and a narcissist keeps gaslighting you. But what is gaslighting? Gaslighting is when somebody uses psychological manipulation to try to twist and confuse someone's sense of reality. When someone does this, they're trying to gain control and power over you by trying to distort your reality, which causes you to question your own judgment, your own thoughts and memory from what's been going on or maybe what's happening in a moment. This can happen in a situation that happened with you or this person, and you bring it back up to that person, and that person tries to deny that thing happened that exact way, or they either try to deny it happened at all, causing you to be confused about what happened at all. A person like this, or someone who's narcissistic, will retell a story in a different way than what actually happened in order to cause confusion in your mind or someone else's mind. This is basically lying, right? And manipulating at its finest. They basically trying to cause you to be confused. They trying to make you think something else happened when you know something else happened on your side. You know it happened. Let me tell y'all what happened. Matter of fact, this happened to me this year with one of the people who are narcissistic. Let me tell y'all a situation that happened with me with a person who was narcissistic. All right. Well, a person who is narcissistic in my life. So I remember being on the phone with this person. Matter of fact, I wasn't even on the phone. I was in person with this person. And I remember that day. Matter of fact, it was right there. It just had happened, actually. It just had happened. And I remember them, they said something. They said they was about to go somewhere. And I was like, oh, okay, you about to go here? And then they looked at me and said, no, I didn't say that. And I was like, yes, you did. And they said, no, I didn't. I didn't say that at all. And I was like, what? You just said that. And it was like, no, I didn't. So now I'm over here bugging. I'm confused. Like, yo, they just said this thing. So what are they talking about? Then I'm like, am I bugging? Am I bugging? And that's just one instance, y'all. And it seems crazy, but we got to remember they are very subtle. They use little small things to try to confuse you. So when we communicate this, it sounds confusing to someone else. But this consistently kept happening. This happened multiple times. It even happened this year with the same person because it's somebody that's in my life that I can't get rid of. And that's what it is. They're trying to distort your reality. They're trying to make it seem like this didn't happen, or maybe it happened a different way. Right? When you know exactly what happened. Here's another example, right? Just imagine somebody smacking you in the face and you fall back, right? You fall back. They smacked you and you fell back. Now you telling them and y'all arguing about it, whatever, or maybe y'all fought it out. But then next week or a month, you talk about it. And then that person is like, I never smacked you. You ran into my arm and then you fell. And then I tried to pick you up. What are you talking about? And you're like, no, you smacked me. I remember you smacked me and I fell. And it was like, you hit your head on the floor though. Maybe you forgot. But I didn't smack you. I turned around, you hit my arm, and then you fell on the ground. And then I picked you up. And I remember you hitting your head. They literally are trying to manipulate you to get you confused about what happened. They're trying to distort your reality of what you know happened. They will lie and try to confuse you. So now you all over the place. Now you over here thinking, did that really happen? Am I bugging? Am I confused? That's what gaslighting is. And it is manipulation, which means it is intentional. So I want y'all to know that gaslighting is not by mistake. It is literally manipulation. It is someone trying to do this on purpose to gain control or to have power or control of some type of situation. Because just imagine you telling someone this and then you saying this about them around a lot of people. Someone who's narcissistic does not want you to do that. They don't want to look bad in front of anyone. So obviously they're going to switch up the situation to make them look better and to make you look crazy, right? So this is what gaslighting is, but you're a Christian. So how do we handle this? What should you do in this situation? As you can see, I fell for it when I did it, but now I don't fall for it. The situation that I went through this year, I had spoke to the person and they did something like that. They basically gaslighted me and I was on the phone with them and I'm like, no, you didn't say that. And they're like, yes, I did. And I'm like, no, you didn't. And they're like, yes, I did. And then I quickly realized, because I actually started to get a little frustrated. I quickly realized after a few minutes what's going on, because I remember what they did and I remember who they are and how they are, right? I'm not going to say who they are. I remember how they are. And I'm like, oh, this person's trying to catch me. So you know what I did? I did the very thing God would want me to do. I started to calm down. I started to be quiet. They're talking on the phone. They're saying all this stuff in my ear. They're trying to get a reaction out of me. They just got a reaction. I ain't even going to lie. They did. But the Spirit came to me and told me and showed me what was happening, of what usually happened. The reason why I was caught off guard is because I hadn't been in a situation with them in years, right? I already know how to maneuver, so I was caught off guard because I didn't understand what was going on, but I quickly realized it. And then God says, be slow to anger. God says, keep your mouth shut. God says, hold your tongue. God says, be a peacemaker. So I lowered my tone, right? I became patient. I started to wait. I kept my mouth shut. I let them talk. I spoke slowly. I was saying less to them, right? And also, let me tell you what happened. I'm sorry. Let me go back real quick. Before I even did that, I prayed. So while I'm on the phone with them, I'm praying in my mind. Oh, I figured this out. Lord God, please help me right now. I see what's going on right now. Please help me. Send me your Spirit to help me, Lord God. So while I was being quiet, I was praying in my head to God and asking him to help me. And y'all know I always say that. As a Christian, pray first. Talk to God. In that moment, I didn't realize it. But the Spirit came to me and helped me realize what was going on. And it stopped me. And I asked God for his help. That person kept going on. And in the past, years ago, I probably would have stayed on the phone with that person. But you know what I did? I got off the phone with that person. And I told them, look, if you're going to talk to me like this, then we can't talk. And I said it calmly. Then I got back on the phone. Well, excuse me, they called me back. I got back on the phone. It was still, and I was like, if you're not going to speak correctly, I'm not going to communicate. Notice how I just changed my voice. That's what I started to do. And there's so many ways that we can learn to communicate. But as Christians, y'all, all we got to do is follow God. And then I was being respectful. Jesus says to be respectful. I was trying to be kind. I was trying to be understanding. I might even have to apologize because I'm still exercising. I want them to see that I'm not trying to attack them. I want them to see that I am not trying to do all of this to you. Plus, I also know what they're doing. So I don't want them to get a rise out of me. So now I got to calm myself down. This is what we have to do as believers, y'all. We don't go back and forth with them. And notice I told y'all that's how it started. I want y'all to understand sometimes we're going to slip. But have grace for yourself and stop it. Or if you can beforehand, don't argue. Because now I usually don't do that. I'm just speaking on an instance where that did happen. But most of the time I don't do that. I lower my voice. I speak in a nonchalant way, in a calm way. Right? Like, yeah, okay, yeah, like I'm not bothered at all. Even if I'm frustrated, I don't show it, right? I don't go back and forth with this person because they want you to do that. We got to remember, especially if they're gaslighting you, what you think they want? They want you to react. They want you to respond badly. They want to get under your skin. They want to manipulate the situation. Don't let them. But that don't mean you fight fire with fire. You understand? You don't go eye for eye. You don't have to explain, because someone who's gaslighting you, right, they're going to be like, that didn't happen. or they're trying to trick you and change the whole situation, that's going to cause you to want to explain the situation. Like, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. You can't remember that. Then you're going to start to get frustrated and they're going to get a rise out of you. That's exactly what's going to happen. You don't have to do that. Calm down. Take a deep breath. Pause. Pray. Speak less, right? Or don't speak at all. Be quiet. Don't go back and forth. Talk to God. Do what God would do. Be respectful. Be kind, or get off that phone. Don't hang up on them, because if you do the opposite of those things, y'all, they're going to play on them. They want you to do that. Remember, they are careless. They don't care. They don't care how you feel. Remember, they lack empathy. They don't care how you feel. But us as believers, regardless, we don't do the opposite. We don't respond to them how the world would respond. We respond to them how Jesus would want us to respond. So if somebody gaslights us, we got to remember and we got to ask God to help us so that we can recognize it. Here's another thing that we can do as well, just so that we keep ourselves safe too, is when things happen, write it down. Write it down, because maybe you could quickly go back into your notes in your phone or whatever you wrote it down in, and then you can see what actually happened, even though they're trying to manipulate and distort and change everything up, so that you know for a fact. Even put the dates down, the time down. You don't have to confront them either. That's another thing. Don't confront them. Don't confront them. They're going to lie. They don't care. You trying to make a point and prove them wrong is not going to do anything. If you even write the notes down and try to show it to them, they're going to use the notes. They're going to use everything. Just be careful, y'all, and do what Jesus would want us to do. If they gaslight you, you can't do nothing about it. It has nothing to do with you. It has more to do with them and everything that they're going through and everything that they can't see, and the deep, dark demon inside of them, the lies that they believe, everything that they're trying to fight and reject from their trauma that they don't even know about. That's what they're doing, all right? So ask God to help you. Be there and try to get about that situation if you can, but don't confront them. Don't argue with them. Don't go back and forth with them. Don't fuss at them. Don't cuss at them. It's only going to throw fire on the fire. It's only going to throw gas on the fire. Throw water on the fire, and water is God. Water is Jesus. Jesus will put the fire out if you do what he says do, okay? All right, hope this blessed y'all. Hope this helped y'all. I'm going to get at y'all when I get at y'all.